我们有将近80个国际的学生，还有超过350种的这个课外活动。
In the elementary school, we really prioritize our social emotional program that we have in the morning.
台湾比较讲求的是，你所有科目你都特别厉害，你才可以上好的大学。
Really prepare kids for their own individual academic and university or career pathway that they intend to go into.
大家好，欢迎来到我们新学特派员最新一集哦。其实，在以往我们做都是跟大学还有研究所课程比较相关，但其实啊，近几年有越来越多家长想要提早把小孩送去新加坡，因为它国际化、安全、双语的环境，所以有越来越多家长来找我咨询关于新加坡中小学相关的课程。所以我就觉得今天我们可以特别做一集针对新加坡可能国际中小学相关的一个完整的介绍。好，那提到新加坡国际中小学，就不得不提到非常知名的史丹佛美国国际学校 （Stamford American International School）。那它是 SAIS， 它本身提供是2到18岁的学生国际课程哦。它也是新加坡第一所，也是唯一所，同时有提供 IB 国际高中文凭以及 AP 美国国际高中文凭的新加坡国际学校。那现在坐落在我后面这个乌雷校区，它容纳了3000多名学生，来自于70个不同国家的学生背景。那同时它的师资也是非常国际化跟非常专业的。今天新学当然也是一样，要实际来走访校区。我们来看一下学校的各个设施，然后以及学生的学习环境，也会采访我们的学生，然后校长，还有老师等等，来让大家更了解新加坡优质的国际学校是长什么样子。好，那我们话不多说 ，Let's go。那现在在我身边的是 Stamford 的学校代表 Zach 要简单跟我们分享一下 Stamford 吗
？Stamford 的话，我们在新加坡是一所从学前班到12年级全年段的教育机构。我们主要的教育框架是以国际水平，就是 IB 教材是偏美式的教材为主。那我们就有这样的一个双体系的构造，让学生来学校进行一种升学的一个学习环境。我们也是新加坡唯一一所以个性化的升学体系，让孩子进行 IB、AP、BTech 还有 Stamford 的 High School Course 作为主要的一个高中毕业途径。
好，那再来你可以跟我们分享一下 Stamford 学生的校园生活，或是他们在学校可以使用的设施吗？
整个校区的话，我们更多是偏向于一个平衡的一种学习形式。除了孩子在课堂上，学校的设施方面的话，我们就有运动类型的，像我们有一个室内的体育馆、游泳池，还有一个高尔夫球的模拟馆，让学生来进行体育课的一些活动，还有更多是偏向于在课后的形式来进行一些体育方面的一些拓展课程。除此之外，其实我们对于科技类型的也会让学生有一个能够上手操作的一个机会。校内我们有一个科技馆，科技馆里头我们就更多的是给学生有一个机会去接触到科技类型的，像是乐高机器人的编程、设计之类的。如果说有些学生他们对多媒体稍微比较感兴趣的，他们也有一个机会可以上手实操，像拍摄啊、进行剪辑之类的。硬件上面的话，除了可能普遍的3D 打印机，那我们其实还有一个 laser cutter machine， 还有一个 high def printer。生活上的话，食堂是必须的。我们还有一个图书馆，让学生在课堂之间的时间段来进行自修，或者是进行小组作业的一些讨论。
好，那我们刚来学校的路上也发现学校的地理位置是非常的便利。
那其实我们在新加坡的话，对于一个国际学校也是偏少数，徒步3分钟就有一个捷运站，以及有一个 shopping mall。对于家长，如果说是需要亲身自己接送孩子的话，整个交通的一个系统是一个很便利的一种方式。
好，那也谢谢 Zach 的分享。那我们现在就一同赶快来访问我们的校长、老师跟学生吧。那我们现在就来到斯坦福小学校长的办公室。那我们很开心就可以访问到我们的校长 Mrs. J。Hello
everyone, welcome to Stamford Elementary, the fun part of our school.
So how does Stamford create a safe and nurturing environment for young children to explore and learn?
In Stamford, in the elementary school, we really prioritise our social emotional program that we have in the morning. So in the morning, the first 30 minutes of the day, we learn how to manage their emotions, how we can move ourselves from an agitated or worried state to a calm, ready to learn state. We really prioritise that all of our students can identify an adult in the school. We have a program called Someone for Everyone. So each of our students can identify an adult that if they have a worry or a concern, they can go to that person and seek help. If we get this right, if we get this strong and emotional foundation set, this really helps our children be ready to learn and be ready to pick up those academic lessons as we move into the rest of the day.
How does Stamford make sure elementary students develop core skills?
Academics is what we do, right? That's what students come to school for. So we really tailor our instruction for each of our students. Our teachers really look at the data that they have on each student. Some students will need some gaps closed. Some students will need ready for the next step in their learning, and some who are really capable will need stretching. So our teachers look at the data on each individual student to try and plan the right path forward. We are also an American school, so we use the standards we use are from America. They're the international version of the Common Core. They're called the Aero standards. So that's what gives us that American curriculum inside the framework of the IB.
So it's like a very hybrid way of designing.
Well, it's schools everywhere use standards, right? If you're in a school in the US or a school in Australia, we all use standards. So if you're learning in grade 4, what you would be learning in grade 4 in the US is very similar. But around the outside of that, we put an inquiry-based framework from the International Baccalaureate. It's very much a richer, more connected learning environment for our students.
Can you share memorable moments that remind you why you love being part of Stamford?
Well, I love being a teacher. I remember one day I called a family, and we called from the office, and I had the little boy call home and say, "Oh, hello, Dad, I'm in the principal's office." And Dad said, "What have you done?" And he said, "No, this is a good thing. Mrs. J's calling because I've been doing really good work." It's not just the bad news, it's also the good news we share. That little boy was only in grade 2. He walked out of here as tall as a senior because he was so proud of himself, and he worked so hard for the rest of his time here with us. That one phone call made a huge difference to him and his family.
Confidence and improvement.
Confidence, and also remembering to celebrate the good things, not just calling about problems. That's not how we do things here. We're a team.
So thanks for all the great answers.
No problems. My pleasure. I love talking about our school.
好，那我们现在就来到 Stamford 的 PCS 大楼，那它就专门给国际学生先准备好英语课程，让他们可以好好的顺利衔接到之后的Stamford 的年级。那我现在就很开心可以访问到我们 Mr. Mark 校长。You wanna say hi to the camera?
你好，大家好，我是斯坦福美国国际部的 PCS 的校长。你好。So Stamford is student-centered, which means that the teacher are facilitating the conversations with students, but really helping students to own their learning in the classroom. And specifically to Stamford, we're the only school on island that offers IB, AP, BTech, and then also an individualized pathway, where students actually get to build their own curriculum to ensure that they have the skills ready for applying to university.
So they can choose their own path along the way.
For example, if I was here as a Stanford student, I really like business, so I would do 2 classes in IB, business management, and also politics, and then I would do AP history, and then maybe like an AP psychology or something like that, and then some Stanford courses around some other courses, and that will prepare me for my best chances of getting into the university.
Ah, I see.
So here at Stanford, our teachers are from all kinds of countries. They have different experiences from all over the world. For example, myself, I've taught in Shanghai. I've also, studied in Hong Kong and Beijing, and I've been here in Singapore for a long time. And I also went to school in Taiwan when I was 11 years old. So I have some experience. So we look at these types of experiences from all over the world, and that's the first example. Second example is we have a phenomenal social-emotional program where we really get to know our students, who they are, how they learn, and make sure that they are doing well. And it's a phrase that we call, are they ready to learn? And this is something that's really important to us.
Okay, so thanks for a very nice interview. Yeah, hope I can visit you.
再见。
好，那我现在很开心，就是在下课的时候访问到我们 Angela， 她本身也是台湾学生，她现在在 Stamford 就读10年级。嘿 ，Angela 要跟大家打声招呼吗
？Hello everyone, I come from Taiwan, 台南。那我之前是在台南的银海国际部，之后再转来这间学校的。
哦，她也刚好在新加坡遇到我台南的同乡啊。Angela， 你来 Stamford 念书多久了？
我大概来1个学期左右。
OK， 还适应吗？有没有认识新朋友？
有认识很多新朋友，因为这边有很多学生来自不同的国家。 So to me, in this school, all subject was very interesting. And my favorite subject was INS.
What's INS?
INS means individual and social team. And why I like this subject? Because I'm very interested in economic and largely about business. Honestly, I was to thinking about the important issue which is happening in the world. 这堂课比较像是让我们去用我们不同的观点，还有用不同的世界观去看待同样的一件事情，去接受每个人有不同的想法。So in this school, I joined the Korean cultural club. So I'm a Taiwanese student, but I joined a different cultural club because I really want to learn Korean, and I very appreciate this culture.
那 Angela， 你觉得在新加坡跟在台南念书有什么差别？
我觉得在台湾念书跟在新加坡念书最大的区别就是，首先从体制上来讲，台湾比较讲求的是你所有科目你都特别厉害，你才可以上好的大学。那在这边不一样，就是你可以用你的兴趣爱好去发展你自己想要的未来。
Angela， 那就祝你之后在学校学业进步，就交到更多好朋友。
好，谢谢。
好，那我现在就来到 Stamford 的 Middle School， 我们现在访问的是 Middle School 的副校长 Christy。You want to say hello to camera?
Hello. I think at Stanford, one of the things we do really well is understand the unique developmental needs of students this age, right? Students 11, 12, 13, and 14. We plan very intentionally to support them. We have a specific plan of transition from elementary school to middle school. As we know, going from one teacher to many teachers can be challenging, for example, so we support students through all of those steps explicitly. We don't just expect them to figure it out on their own. We also plan for their academics in a developmentally appropriate way. So for example, our students do have homework, but the amount and time they spend on that homework increases as they grow older. So we're not expecting too much of students who are only 11, for example. We think about learning as a holistic experience. So we're not just supporting students with their learning, but also with their development as a human being. And so we have a class called Advisory that is a small group of students who spend the year together learning explicit skills like how to manage conflict, how to be organized with your resources for school, how to manage your time, those kinds of things. So we think that teaching those skills explicitly in addition to math and science and English are important.
So Christy, I know your daughter is also studying in Stanford. So what's the reason behind it?
Yeah, that's right. I have a child in grade 1, so she's 6.5. One of the reasons that my partner and I decided to explore international education is that we knew she would get an outstanding education. One of the things we really appreciate about Stanford is its diversity. We wanted her to grow up in an environment around people who are different from her. Stanford is unique in that way. It's very culturally diverse, linguistically diverse. We also really appreciate the IB program in primary, called the PYP, the Primary Years Program. It's very exploratory, takes learning into a more conceptual way of thinking around things rather than sort of a traditional rote kind of learning. And we know she's a very curious child, and so that way of learning fits her very well. Learning is connected and authentic in real life, and so it's not just isolated in the math classroom, but there are concepts being explored in math that are also connected to learning in science, that are also connected to learning in English, and it's designed purposefully that way. We have one of those at each grade level in the middle school where 2 or more subjects come together and actually plan the learning together so that it's tightly woven and integrated, so that students are really able to see those real life connections as it relates to their learning.
Okay, so thanks for your time, Christy. Hope you and your daughter will enjoy a good time in Stanford.
Thank you for the opportunity to highlight all the great things about Stanford.
好，我们现在就来到 Stamford 的高中部。我们现在在高中部的校长办公室。那旁边这位呢，就是校长 Fernandez。You want to say hello to Taiwan?
你好，台湾。Besides the rigor of the diploma program, I think the combination or the integration of the IB, the DP, the BTEC and those Stanford courses provide experiences that really prepare kids for their own individual academic and university or career pathway that they intend to go into. From an academic counseling perspective, we have a 4-year program where in grade 9 we begin encouraging kids to learn about themselves, to have conversations with their families, to start delving into that passion that they have for when they leave school. So it begins the moment they enter into 9th grade. Then in 10th grade we have a year-long, very inclusive and in-depth look at the variety variety of subjects that our school has to offer, as well as the prerequisites to join each one of those classes. We've also got those students who are not really looking into going into just an academic pathway at university, but look at something that is career related. And so we've got art and design, where we've got kids that have gone into these fancy universities in Europe, in the US, where they've become design artists, or engineering, or even architecture. So it prepares them for that. The courses that we do also provide students to create a portfolio so that they can present those to universities. And besides the portfolio, we teach our kids how to go through an interview process, how to write a CV, so that they are ready for the workplace or the university. I have lots of memorable stories of students that stand out at Stamford, or have stood out at Stamford, but the one that is in my mind is of a student who entered the IB program. First of all, the kid I'm thinking about was a kid on the spectrum. Who had difficulties socializing with other students. Now, through the support of our student council, as well as our counselors, we were able to customize a program for him that included IB courses, as well as Stamford courses and some AP courses. And this kid really stood out, because suddenly he developed the self-confidence that he didn't have, and he became one in grade 10 in the MYP personal project. He designed the solar panel system that our school currently has. He designed it, and it was so close to the industry standard that an external company, of engineering company, actually came to the school and built the solar panel system based on his criteria. Two, the student in 12th grade was then a member of a program that we bring to our school every 2 years. It's a STEM program run by NASA and King's College London, where they spend 5 days with astronauts, with engineers from NASA, engineers from the universities, and they plan a collaborative science project that is then the winner of the project then has their project assessed in a lab in the International Space Station. He won. So moments like these showcase the transformative power of the personalized or individualized education we offer at Stamford.
Okay. So, Mr. Fernandez, thanks for your time and your guitar performance.
It's a pleasure. Thank you. I hope you enjoy what I've had to say, and that you will join us at Stamford in Singapore.
我觉得史丹福的学生很认真，他们可以进步很快，因为我们的老师非常好，他们我觉得很努力。
The first word is kind. They're also very capable learners. Part of our framework and the way we learn is children learn to advocate for what they need. The last one is they're very curious. They love to learn, which is our job in the elementary school, is to turn on that learning and that love for learning.
Stanford students are incredibly hardworking. Stanford students are enthusiastic about learning. And I would also say Stanford learners are curious.
That's easy. Our students are resilient. Doesn't matter what you throw at them, they'll get up and they'll try to be their best. Secondly, they're global-minded. They really think about the bigger picture and then try and focus in on the local ideas. And then thirdly, our kids are super, super compassionate. They are friendly, they feel for each other. It's a real life community.
That's very, very challenging. Here at Stanford, we have 350 CCAs, but for me personally, I love basketball.
Well, I would say all of them.
Both as an athlete, because I was an athlete all my life, and as a musician, the one course that I would really like to do is the course that we offer in grade 11 and 12 called Outdoor Education, which combines hands-on learning with sustainability. It aligns with our commitment to creating a holistic education, encouraging learning beyond the classroom.
好，那到影片的最后，我就要来采访，也是我认识多年的好朋友，也是 Stamford 的招生主任 Ivy。
台湾的朋友大家好 ，Welcome to Stamford.
So Ivy, college preparation is often a top priority for parents. So can you share with us any university placements or success stories that showcase Stanford's effectiveness to help students reach their higher academic goals?
Of course, I'm very proud of Stamford for our university progression rate, where over 95% of our students get into their first and second choice of university. So, for example, like New York University, King's College, and etc.
好，那我们今天也采访到非常多校长啊，还有学生有认识到 Stamford 的环境，就发现 Stamford 真是一所非常优质的国际学校。那你认为什么样的台湾学生会适合来就读呢？
据我对台湾学生的了解，他们都是乐于挑战喜欢国际化的一个环境，然后再加上对文化交流是非常有兴趣的。在斯坦福美国国际学校这么多元化的一间国际学校来说，我们有将近80个国际的学生，还有超过350种的这个课外活动，所以我非常确定台湾学生会非常享受这个环境。
那你对于要来念像斯坦福这样的国际学校的台湾学生有什么建议吗？
其实新加坡是一个非常安全的国家，我自己在新加坡已经20年了，所以如果说要给台湾学生的建议的话，我觉得要来出国读书吧。我们说肯定当然要准备好英文要好好读英文，然后学校成绩也不能落下，一定要好好的去准备。再加上如果说要出国读书，独立很重要独立很重要，就是要学会自己打扫然后会煮饭也是很重要的。我其实看到那么多的国际学生来新加坡，他们要定下来都是蛮容易的，因为新加坡是一个非常友善的环境。从 Stamford 的角度来说的话，我们非常的欢迎台湾学生来我们学校读书。
好，那也希望新学未来可以送更多台湾学生来 Stamford 就读。
也谢谢 Mark 今天来采访我们学校。
好，那我是新学特派员，大家下次见，
拜拜。